Today, we're going to tear apart the Amazon page for a machine that makes this massive promise to completely get rid of your worst stains. So let's see if what they're selling and what real people are saying actually lines up.
I mean, we've all been there, haven't we? That moment your heart just drops. You see the mess, and your brain immediately goes into damage control mode. It's a feeling we all know, for sure.
And then you see this. What if a machine promised to fix all that with, get this, 20x more stain striking power? I mean, wow, that is a bold, super specific number. It's designed to make you slam on the brakes while you're scrolling. They're not just saying it's another cleaner, they're pitching it as the solution, the final boss of stain removers.
So that's what we're going to do. For the next few minutes, we are putting the page itself under the microscope. Look, we're not testing the machine. What we are going to do is break down the marketing, dig into the specs, and most importantly, see what thousands of real people who've already spent their money have to say about it.
All right, first things first, let's dive into the official story. This is the pitch. This is exactly what Shark wants you to believe about their StainStriker.
So where does that 20x power claim even come from? Well, this slide breaks it down. It's not just about suction, it's about chemistry. You've got two different liquids, a cleaning formula and an oxy multiplier, and they mix together right inside the tool as you're using it. The big deal here? No pre-mixing for you. That's a huge convenience play.
And if you look at their main promises, they're ticking all the boxes. They're hitting every single pain point you could possibly have. It'll permanently remove odors, not just cover them up. It's got ultra-powerful suction for those deep set-in stains, and you can use it everywhere. Carpets, your sofa, even your car. Oh, and by the way, it's super lightweight. It's a very compelling pitch.
Okay, so the promises sound great, but what do you actually get? Let's unpack the pitch and look at the nuts and bolts, the specs, and what's really in the box when it shows up at your door.
So, right out of the box, you get the main machine, of course. Then you have 3 different tool heads for whatever job you're tackling. And they even throw in some starter bottles of both the cleaning formulas. The idea is you've got everything you need to go after a stain the second you open it.
Now this little spec table tells us a couple of really important things. First, at just 8.5 pounds, yeah, they weren't kidding about it being lightweight. But the real kicker is that last line. It's the #2 bestseller in its category. That's some serious social proof right there. It tells you this isn't some random gadget, it's a major player in the game.
All right, so we've heard the sales pitch from Shark. Now it's time to hear from the most important people on any product page, the customers. And with more than 8,800 ratings, we should be able to get a really clear picture of what's going on. Just think about that for a second. Over 8,800 people who actually bought it, took the time to leave a rating. That is a massive sample size. It means we can be pretty confident that the trends we're about to see are the real deal.
So the overall score is a very strong 4.5 stars. And look at that chart. A whopping 77% of people gave it a perfect 5-star score. If you add up the 4- and 5-star reviews, you're looking at 88% of customers having a good experience. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to zoom in on that 5% who left a 1-star review, because that's where you find the stuff that could really be a deal breaker.
This is where Amazon's AI summary comes in super handy. It shows us that cleaning power is what people talk about the most, and the feedback there is just overwhelmingly positive. Same story for value and ease of use. But hang on, look at suction power. It's still mostly positive, yeah, but it's got the highest ratio of negative mentions by far. That's a little red flag, something we need to keep an eye on. And this right here, this 5-star review, this is the dream scenario Shark is selling. A game changer for the busy household with kids and pets. This person is exactly who they're targeting. For them, it wasn't just a machine, it was a solution that completely lived up to the hype. But then, you get this, the complete opposite experience. This 1-star review is about a total failure. It confirms that little red flag we just saw. The suction just died 5 minutes in. This points to a potential and pretty serious reliability problem with at least some of these units.
Let's go back to the positive side for a second, because this review is so powerful. It paints this vivid picture of a late-night pet disaster, messy, awful, and the StainStriker comes in like the hero and saves the day, making the carpet look brand new. Honestly, this is the kind of personal story that sells way more products than any marketing copy.
And then, bam, another review that's a direct contradiction. This person says it has no suction and the solution does nothing. So when you see reviews that are this polarized, one person says the suction is incredible, the next says it's non-existent, it really does start to look like there might be some quality control issues or maybe a specific part that's prone to failing.
Okay, but let's be real. This machine doesn't exist in a vacuum. The Amazon page itself gives us some fantastic context by putting the StainStriker right up against its biggest rivals.
And here it is, the undisputed heavyweight champ, the Bissell Little Green. Now check this out. The star ratings? Identical. Both are sitting at a solid 4.5. But the number of ratings? Whoa. The Bissell has over 92,000. That's more than 10 times the Shark. So what does that tell us? The Bissell is the established, trusted leader, and the Shark is the really popular, high-performing new challenger on the block.
The page is also smart because it helps you compare within the Shark family. This little chart basically shows you, hey, for a little more cash, you can upgrade to the PX251 and get cool stuff like Hair Pro technology and a self-cleaning feature. It's a classic retail strategy, right? The upsell, showing you what you could have.
All right, we have looked at the marketing pitch, we've dug into the specs, we've sifted through thousands of reviews, and we've sized up the competition. Now, let's pull it all together. Let's synthesize everything this product page is telling us and figure out the final takeaway.
So here's the bottom line, based on everything on the page. On the plus side, it's very highly rated for its cleaning power, especially for those nightmare pet stains and odors. It's also compact and light, and people love how easy it is to use and store. But on the con side, there's a significant number of reviews complaining about the suction failing or the machine leaking. That's a real issue. Also, a heads up for international buyers. A lot of them mention getting the wrong US-style plug. But here's a final interesting note. A lot of the 5-star reviews come from people who specifically say they switched from that popular green competitor and that they like the Shark way better.
So, when it all comes down to it, the page tells a story of high reward, but also some real risk. All the data suggests you have a really good chance of getting a fantastic, game-changing cleaner. But you have to weigh that against the small but very real chance of getting a dud that breaks right away. So the final question is, when you're staring down a tough stain, is that promise of 20x power a smart buy? Or is it a risky bet?